Hello.
Seriously.
Jim, you're going to have to hold this, and I'm going to have to try to find us over here. Explain what's happened.
Yeah, okay. Nobody's here yet, which is good. So let me do some explaining about what's kind of going on. For whatever reason, the computer wouldn't connect live. You're already there. You're in Creator Studio right there.
Okay, I need to go to video.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, it just kind of struggled with the whole idea of going live. So, people are joining. Okay. So we're running late for two reasons. Number one, we working on a project and we wanted to finish just a little bit more of it before we came live.
I don't remember how to do this.
Well, don't click on that one. You need to go to the list, or the video list that we have. Go to our channel.
Our channel. That's what I need to do.
Yeah. So the computer decided it didn't want to go live, so we're using Rinda's phone to go live.
But we don't have the holder for the phone, so it's going to kind of be... Oh, there we are.
Okay. Turn the volume off. You'll start feeding back. Okay. So we are live.
Okay. Do you know where the little part is that goes on this? We could just put that together.
Yes, actually, I do.
All right. So can everybody hear us? Sorry, we're trying to get this into a place. So just bear with us. We're going to turn this silly screen for just a moment while we put it on something stable. Sorry.
That ought to make you busy.
Ta-da! Okay.
Okay, stability has one. Oh, we're kind of crooked. Wow, we are off to a grand start here today. But we made it.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's great. Whew. It's fantastic. So
okay. We were working outside on a project to get our firewood shed done by morning while we still had light, and I had an alarm set and it went off, and we just kept saying, well, we'll just go in a minute. We'll go in a minute.
Yeah, so. You know how everything always takes you longer than you thought it would, and that's what's
okay. Let me say hello. Hello, Lois. She made it. Tabby, Kelly, orchestra's daughter. Christy Betts, Kelly. Oh, I said Kelly already. And everybody says we can go. And Mama Grows.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Grand start, but great to see you. Yeah. we thought we'd
have a different entrance, you know.
Turn you upside down. Okay.
First of all, for those who are concerned about the fact we're using a lot of electric gadgets to keep warm, yes, we are. And yes, we understand what it's doing to our electric bill.
We've got to turn way, way, way down low, and so they just barely go on and on.
And really, they're more supplemental than anything. But let's keep in mind, this was an unusual dip, and it lasted a couple of days. Today was certainly not cold.
64.
So we haven't been running heat at all today. So that's really the balance that we get in there. So it's kind of.
So where do you need to look here to be able to look in so it looks like we're looking at it?
I'm not sure where the camera is on this side. It's kind of like right in there. You know, I think
so.
If
we're
like
looking weird, it's because we're weird.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've ever tried to go live, and we've done it before where when it won't take the thumbnail, it just won't load whatsoever.
So when the electric bill comes, we'll know just how big a hit this was. But you know, it is.
So
it's what we're doing this year. Next year will be better.
For those of you that are on the East Coast,
who are really getting cold,
from St. Louis over, who got lots of snow and ice, our condolences. For those of you in California who are fighting the fires, our real condolences.
Yeah, wow.
We don't have a television, but I've started watching live online each morning so that I can keep up with the news of what's going around the world. And I think when the shooting in Pittsburgh happened, and I didn't know about it, and we live in Pittsburgh, obviously that's where we lived while we were looking for a place. And the shooting was in Squirrel Hill, which was the Jewish community that we were familiar with and where Mr. Rogers lived. And my sister-in-law and my brother, whose home we lived in there, they were very, very, very upset. And I didn't know about it until they told us. And then I was like, okay, I got to watch the news.
Yeah.
I got to know what's going on a little bit. I just got sick of politics, so I stopped watching news. But now I'm just watching news and not really politics. So.
Okay. Very good.
They say we're looking good.
Excellent. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that.
As we're coming in the house, I'm like, are we going just to do a video while we give up daylight to finish this project?
Daylight's going away fast.
Daylight's gone.
Yeah.
So we'll get our headlamps on when we're done here and go finish it.
Because there won't be time in the morning.
No.
For people here.
Last week, we did a live, and at 5:45, we went outside and it was dark. We hadn't fed the animals and we hadn't put the chickens away, and they were all lost.
Well,
we lost one of them. We couldn't find
We've got the chickens totally confused because we moved their shelter into the barn, so it's a lot warmer for them, and they can't seem to figure that out. It doesn't make sense for them, and so come time to go home, they don't know where to go, and they just pick a place that they've been to before and they huddle there. Although they don't all pick the same place, so you know,
it's weird.
There's always the few that we're looking for.
So to catch up with a couple of comments, Orchestra's daughter, she is in the Columbia Gorge.
Oh, wow.
And she says it's 60. So
Nice.
Say hi to Oregon for us. And Marianne said that and welcome Marianne, she is getting ashes from the Paradise Fire. It's such a tragedy. Such a tragedy. So yeah, Orchard. Okay. So anyway, yeah, lots of sad things happening in the world, and it seems like everywhere we go, every time we're there, they're saying, "Oh, well, this is the coldest." In Oregon, a year ago was the coldest winter they'd had in 60 years. So we come here, and they're like, "Oh, this is the earliest snow we've had in 60 years, wasn't it?"
Yeah.
And then they were giving all these records, and in New York today, they had 6 inches of snow, which was the largest amount of snow for this date since the 1800s.
Yeah.
So this isn't normal.
Well, nothing's normal.
Nothing is
the
normal.
weather patterns are just getting more and more extreme, more erratic. So we just need to live with that. Know that's going to happen. Which is all the more reason for what we're doing is getting ourselves to where we're sustainable. I can't see. That's pretty bright.
There. I was just trying. We have weird, terrible lighting in here.
Go like that. I think it's
that
better.
might be better.
Yeah, that's better. It's not
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the weather's changing, the patterns are different, which, okay, it's colder sometimes, it's hotter sometimes, it's wetter, it's drier. And those are challenges day by day. What it means, though, is for those of us who are attempting to grow our own food is that our environment is shifting a little bit. So does that mean we can grow less or we can grow more? It means, we definitely need to adapt to it if we want to keep producing the quantity that we've been used to producing. So we need to watch that because colder spells earlier, deeper frosts, warmer day. What we're seeing here, which I think is amazing, is we've had dips and then it's nice for a while. So if we can figure out how to get our plants to make it through those dips, then they have nice warm weather to help them out for a while. So those are the kinds of techniques we're looking at implementing as we watch what's here, because these warm bounce backs, this is great.
So we got asked whether we're still getting eggs.
One today, 2 yesterday, 3 the day before. Now, we're suspecting there are eggs someplace. We just don't know where that place is.
Because we moved them, and so they don't know where to go.
In order to control the eggs, what we think we're going to do is leave the barn door closed so it's dark. So it'll be a shorter day for them, and they'll lay their eggs in the morning before they get out.
No. We're going to keep them open.
We open the door so it's light, so they think it's day.
Yeah.
And then they go ahead and lay.
But they can't get out of their chicken tractor.
So they're in there. The only place to lay is in the nest boxes. So we get the eggs, and then we let them out if it's Wednesday.
Correct.
Good plan.
But we only have 6 chickens left.
Yeah.
So
We just had some
we finally
misfortune.
lost yesterday one of our Delawares. I went in there, okay, admission. I hadn't been in to feed my chickens for 3 days. He has.
I've been watching her, and she's moved some, but it's been every day and every day.
She
she's
was
more or
so
less
tiny. I saw her sitting there and I went, why is this one so tiny? And I went to feed her and I went to water her and she wouldn't do anything.
just
So I
failure to
picked her up
thrive.
and put her in my
Just-
hospital, and she died this morning because I didn't want her in with them because I knew she was going to die. I don't know why. You don't know why. But so we lost
I
one.
know.
That's the first one we've lost.
People who are more knowledgeable about chicken anatomy and the chicken diseases would probably examine her and see if there's some internal organ, if there's something that's showing signs of a problem. We don't know enough about the diseases to really make that worthwhile. So,
Oh, somebody just got their Wi-Fi and their power back on. I know I'm going off screen to see this.
yeah.
Just in time to watch us. Oh my goodness, Kelly at the Biddle Pig Farm. What a cute name is that, the Biddle Pig Farm. She finally made it for a live stream. Well, good, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We appreciate you being here. He just got dinkle-dinked at work, so.
Something. Let's see what it is.
So there was a study done this week, and I don't have the details of it, but I was watching part of it on the news, where they were comparing people who are eating normal, the normal American diet, Western diet, sorry, and then reducing their carbohydrates a little or reducing them quite a bit, but still doing carbohydrates. And they found that people lose weight more, their cholesterol level goes down, they had more energy. And I'm like, really? Well, it's so nice that there's studies to prove that what we're already doing. So they said at the Thanksgiving table this week, next week, is it next week? Yes. Next week.
Thanksgiving's on its way. Are you ready?
Yes. That we eat more turkey and less sweet potatoes. But just balance it. Have a good time. Enjoy. Don't eat too much pie.
Yeah, that's probably the trick. What's it on the pie? If you have a slice of each type of pie, make it a small slice, right? And maybe don't totally load it up with that whipped cream and stuff. And whipped cream is good, but if it's the sugared kind, heavily sugared, you might want to be careful.
Lois took her rooster away and her chickens stopped laying completely. I would call that a rebellion. You took my man.
So you just disproved what all the chicken people say is you don't need a rooster to have eggs. Maybe we need to get a rooster.
Not with just 6 chickens. They'll be hurt. In the last 2 videos, someone left great tips for energy efficient. I want to incorporate them. We've had many
advice. Whoa.
I haven't even got to read them all today.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, we're going to get a wood stove in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's really what we've come down to.
But the ones we really want are about $2,000. So it'll be a little while. Next year will be better. I want to tell you that there's a huge difference between 64 degrees and 10.
Everybody knew that.
I know, but I just want to reiterate that. I could get out and do things. I worked in the garden today.
Yeah, she did.
I pulled up all my herbs. My herbs were still alive. They're brilliant green. I just uncovered them from the thing and I pulled them all. And I'm going to freeze them and dry them. But
yeah.
Probably freeze them because they keep their flavor more. That's what Marianne tells me. So the ones I froze are wonderful. So anyway.
Good.
Keep talking. I'm
Keep
looking.
Talking. You're still looking for more.
Sorry.
That's
power
fine.
back on in Ohio.
Wow.
And did I see that Linda is on here, or someone's just saying hi to Linda?
Yeah, we've been told that in this area, when they have the power outages during the winter, it's usually because of ice that has taken out the poles, and people who are a little more rural than us, a little further out,
Can be without it.
they've been without it for like 2 weeks before they had power, which with us relying on electricity a lot, that can be pretty nasty.
But we have the wood stove.
That's another reason that
Fireplace.
we want to have more wood stoves.
I would like to have a wood stove in every room.
I thought you said no to that.
Well, I would, but I'm not going to.
At least 2 wood stoves.
Two wood stoves. We're gonna have one in the kitchen and one in the other room.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I know that as warm as I feel, I just won't feel this way when we're 10 degrees.
Now, did you post the pictures and description of our insert for our fireplace yet?
On the video last night.
Oh, yes,
on yesterday's
yesterday's.
video.
Okay.
Somebody wanted to see it, and then somebody else asked, well, what's wrong with your insert? Well, we don't know if there's anything wrong with our insert. Somebody just asked to see it. So we do want to know whether it's steel or cast iron, because we were told that with this Osage orange, the wood can burn so hot that it can warp the steel.
Yeah, we don't have that much Osage orange. We just have a
I
couple
put
of
a
pieces.
bunch in yesterday,
Yeah,
Jim.
okay, go ahead.
And I'm
It's
here
probably all gone
after
now.
I found out that
I did look up the company that manufactured it, and they don't have
manufacturers are insert.
the insert,
Okay.
and their current products are all steel.
Okay.
No, I take it back. They were all cast iron.
Yeah, I thought you
got it
said that.
backwards. I said they were cast iron, which is great, but don't know about this older version that we have. So, and they, unlike some websites where they have their archives and the historical models, they had nothing like that. Just their current models that are for sale.
Update on Lois's chickens. So they have started laying again now, even though the rooster's gone. But the turkey started laying when she took away the man.
Oh, she took the tom away?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what you're saying here. Let me read it again. They have started laying again. It just made me chuckle that they quit laying. My turkey hen started laying when I took her man away.
Now, is he on his way to Thanksgiving dinner, or is he took away somewhere else?
Well, their Thanksgiving dinner is different than ours. They're in Canada.
I think they eat the same stuff.
I know, but they had it. They already had. What day was your Thanksgiving? We have already had Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure this year.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know that they have turkey. I mean, that's an American
She
thing.
has turkeys.
Well, I know. Having roosters seems to stimulate laying, and I wish we could have a rooster here.
Is that Lois saying that?
No, that's Marianne. Marianne, I don't think you should have a rooster in your backyard. You do have a great backyard, though.
Hopefully your neighbors love you if you go do that first.
So, Marianne, I know that Tom fell earlier this week. How is he doing? Please let us know. You feel okay when you first get up, but then a day or two later, those muscles hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to lean over, but that's the way I can read
Well,
it.
we can switch you around like this, so you can't hide. Then I have to.
Then you're off. How many square feet is our home? You know, they say it's 1,500. I don't know that is right, because I think that's with the attic.
I'd have to do the calculations. Yeah, it was a little confusing the way they.
I think
what they
it's
counted.
just a little over 1,100 or 1,200.
I think what happened is, you know how they tell the different sizes. They were counting the attic space, which is not livable, and in another number they were counting the garage as part of the square foot. So it was a little bit confusing, but I think it's like.
Well, the paperwork's in. He's adding. I wanted to say hi to John Walsh.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's like 11 or 12
I wanted to say hi to John
without
Walsh.
the attic or garage.
John, you make the best comments about our chickens. And the one you just made is they have turkeys with a different accent. I'm assuming we're talking about Canada.
Eh?
Now, let's discuss
Yeah.
Henny Penny. We don't know if we still have her, but we can tell you this. We have 6 chickens left. 5 of them are always together. 1 is always away from them. So we think she's still Henny Penny.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've really enjoyed your comments, John. Okay. On this device. Oh, wait, we're reading to someone else. It's pretty rural. All right. Hi, K Joy. That's a beautiful name. Are you going to start with one stove and get two at the same time? Well, for sure. At this,
Based on the cost, I see it starting with one. But yeah.
we'd really like to get one that you cook on. That I
Now,
could
she
bake
has started
in.
saying that the other day.
I have been saying it inside, but I never let it ooze out of my mouth until yesterday. I didn't say for my whole stove cooking. I'd like one of those and then a propane gas, nice one. But then wouldn't it be nice to be able to put the wood in one side and have the bread bake? That's like a bustle oven almost.
It's a totally different experience.
Make me a bustle oven.
Okay.
Make me a bustle oven.
Not tonight.
Do y'all know what a bustle oven is? It's pretty cool.
So cooking with that, I mean, you're talking about baking with it or cooking on the stovetop?
Just a sec. I got to get Mary Ann's response.
Okay.
She said he's doing really fine. He just always seems to bounce back. Bouncing is good. And when you get one efficient stove, you will find that you won't need the other one in every room.
Yeah.
And yes, for sure.
And that's a discussion we've had, is we should go and get the best one that we plan to get. I don't know if we'll get the best one that exists, but the best one that
Everybody says Lopa, L-I-P-A, L-I-P-O,
Lopi, I think.
Lopo.
So yeah,
We looked at it.
and as we learn how to use it, because we lived in one place at one point that there was we were burning coal with it. So, but it's the same thing. It was down in the basement, and the way that we set up the airflow through the house is
we opened the windows upstairs.
Like the furthest bedroom from where the basement openings were, we had a window open there, and if we opened the bedroom windows, it would pull the heat from the basement up to the bedrooms.
Yeah, it was
and
hot,
wherever
toasty.
we wanted it. So it really kept it very warm. So yeah,
but I don't like coal.
If we I'm not. It was the heat. It wasn't the cold so much. But if you set things up right, you can pull the heat around. So if we get a very efficient stove that does great at radiating, then yeah, we may find that hey, we just need the one.
Click, Mary Ann. I mean, Dolly. How did we do that before?
How did we what?
Click to make her the
right up there.
Right here.
Manage moderators.
Oh,
you're still okay. So she should be there.
You should be a moderator.
So
now how do I go back?
You click on that window right there, that tab.
Okay.
There you go. So if you're not getting moderator rights, we're going to have to figure out why that is.
Because we made you our moderator last week. Dolly.
So if that's not working, we're going to
and
figure
hello,
out why.
Dolly. Oh, I could go into song and dance if you like.
No, they're not asking you to.
Hello, Dolly. One of my favorite shows, Dolly.
Yeah, we got it. Oh, dear.
Okay, reel me in. A cook wood stove is wonderful. Be sure and get one. Yay, Mary Ann gave me permission.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that there's a bit of a learning curve there, but because your heat, unlike gas, which is, you can adjust it up and down, your different wood, different amounts of wood.
Yep. And you'd have smaller pieces of wood that you put in.
So you're going to have to learn how to feed the fire in there, but also for cooking, so it'll be tricky.
Okay. Yeah. Dolly is moderator now because she's got the little thing next to her.
Cool. Good.
All right. Cool. Lopi is great, and look into Vermont casting too. Yeah, I am. They're all just a little pricey. I need a fundraiser for them.
Well, the thing of it is, they're pricey because they work well.
And think about it. I can stop paying the electric bill.
Yeah.
I just pay it all at once for a wood stove.
Yeah.
You guys, we're really excited. Tomorrow we have a group of people, and I know we've said this several times, but our church, they do service projects, and we are the service project tomorrow. It's kind of different. We've never been a service project before, but I told my son, does that mean that we're the old people in the church? And he goes, probably.
Well, keep in mind that the head of our congregation is the person we bought the house from. And so he feels some
He wants to
responsibility
take care of us.
because he knows what's here. He knows what it's like, and so he's trying to make certain that things are fine.
Anyway,
so
we have
he organized it.
6 men coming with their chainsaws and 2 log splitters, and we have several trees that have fallen and or had, you know, we have 3 trees that have fallen, 2 that were already down, and 1 that is down now. And then we're going to fell another one. And so we'll have this, and we just are finishing the roof tonight on our fire thing, and we'll show it all to you.
On the woodshed.
Woodshed.
So finally, after all these years, I have a woodshed that I could take my kids out to, right?
Nope, it's going to be too full of wood.
Yeah, it's going to be full of wood.
Yeah.
I was joking. Right?
I know you were.
Okay, good.
Anyway, yes, thank you, Mama Grows. She's happy for her heart is happy. Yeah, it was really fun. We're very excited about that. You know what's neat? So green during the winter is really beautiful, but here in Missouri, we don't really go wandering through the forest in the winter, in the summer, because of the ticks and the sugars. But now we get to, and so I'm just watching the weeds just kind of die down, and I get to go out and do stuff, and it's wonderful. It's like you get to garden in this time, and you get to do this in this time, and this in this time, and
yeah,
it's great. See, I love it all.
Yeah. Now this tree that we asked about, it was
the tree. Everybody says, and I've looked it up, and I confirm. Our big tree is a Bradford pear tree.
And I did a little research on Bradford pears and found out why people are saying you don't want them.
We want them. It's the most gorgeous tree on the property. Besides
they were introduced to the U.S. several years ago, but in like the 50s and 60s, they started being used as ornamentals because they're gorgeous. I mean, their shape is this nice rounded shape, just the pristine suburban tree that you want in your front yard. Well, the challenge is that they take over, I guess, is what's going on, and they just don't go away. They're very persistent, and they put up lots of shoots, and if you leave them go, you end up with an impassable
But we're not.
Area.
We only have one in one area. It's between our 2
and
barns.
we
don't
mow
grow
under
around it.
So
we love it.
So for us, we get the beauty. We get to see this tree that starts
early.
early.
Know what it is
with the red blossoms, and then beautiful greenery after that. And then when it changes to this gorgeous red.
All different variegated. You go look underneath. All those leaves are totally different colors.
But it's hardly dropping any leaves.
It's hardly dropping. There's so many green.
It's really slow about that.
Okay, I got to lean forward and read.
Yeah. So it's a gorgeous tree.
Hello, bluegrass.
So if there anything bad about it other than what I've read, I mean, it doesn't seem to be inhibiting the grass growth under it. We're not trying to grow anything else under it for where it's setting. It just wouldn't make sense. But the roots seem to be close to the surface. So, and that's how it does the shoots that come up.
Okay, I'm going to read this part. You can, even if you want to watch me read, you can watch.
I'm watching.
It's not good. All right. Kelly at the Biddle Pig Farm. I love that name.
The what?
Biddle Pig Farm.
Biddle Pig.
Biddle Pig.
What's a Biddle Pig?
That's the name of their farm.
Okay.
I have been researching stoves and are saving for either a Blaze King. It has 30-hour burn time.
Whoa.
Or a soapstone, which I looked at yesterday. And they are pricey, but they have long burn times and are super efficient.
Now, when we say long burn times, does that mean you can put more wood in them, or they tend to burn the wood slow and still pull a lot of heat out of it? Is that how that's working? That's great if that's the case. So you put a suitable sized piece of wood in there, and it works on it for a long time, and it keeps the airflow just perfect, so it can burn it hot. And anyway, I guess it probably has enough mass to it that it radiates for a long time. Don't have to burn it as fast.
Bluegrass Homestead was late because she has to shower when the kids let her. I understand that. I remember it well.
Yeah, you kind of, yeah.
Mickey Martin. Bradford pears are weak trees. A good freeze will split it. Well, it's been there a while, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Interesting.
And they do freezes here.
You know, one thing I thought I read.
I actually saw splits. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
One thing that I
Not on our
thought
tree.
I read was that they're also good for wood, or maybe it was a question: are they good for wood? So if it does split, can we take it down and start drying it for burning?
So it doesn't have a fruit. A Bradford pear does not have fruit on it. It's a fruitless pear tree. I think, I don't know, the little leaves are.
Yeah, because that's one of the reasons that made it appealing was it was gorgeous and it didn't drop these
it doesn't
old
drop
pieces
anything.
of fruit that you have all this mess laying around. So it was very desirable for suburban homes that didn't really care about. They could go to the grocery store.
And I wasn't meaning that our tree has split, but I was looking at things yesterday and a whole bunch of them had things that split off.
You were looking like at the news?
Like at YouTube. No, like internet.
For Bradford pear
For
trees.
Bradford pears.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being 9 months pregnant makes it even more difficult. Oh, she is going to have a
9 months,
baby.
9 months, 9 months. Yeah, that's baby time.
I think you're going to have a Thanksgiving baby. How wonderful. Boy or girl? You did go wipe your nose. As I do mine. Let's see. Especially since it still has the leaves. Yeah, that's what I said the other day. I was so worried. But we just got snow the other day. We didn't get the ice that everybody else got. Indiana had a ton of ice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would think if we had gotten a heavy ice storm,
Well, that's what happened in the east right now, is trees just were falling because, do you remember when we lived in Connecticut and Pennsylvania there, and the early October snow would come and the trees just
just
cracked.
Yeah, and all over the roads, and it's a mess. Yeah.
Dolly had a baby on the 19th of November during an ice storm. Ooh.
That wasn't fun.
So you have a baby who's going to have a birthday in about 3 days. Happy birthday. Let's see. I'm sorry. I was trying to read 3 things at once.
That takes some talent. You know, one subject that we're going to want to spend some time with, not necessarily on here, but it's okay to bring it up, but in the future, is we kind of want to get back to our roots a little bit. We were given a challenge by someone who is...
Wait.
Hold off on that, Jim.
Wait. So they're going to name her Charlotte and call her Charlie Ray. That's my middle name. My name is Rinda Ray. So she's naming her after me. Isn't that nice?
Is that what she said? Okay. Very good.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead with the challenge.
Yeah, with the challenge. And it's a challenge that they were issuing to
all homesteaders.
And really what it comes down to, what they're having as an issue is that
they're losing their home.
Losing their home. They live slightly rural, but in their township there are some rules, and with no complaints having come from anybody, I don't know if it's the zoning commission or who it was for the township, looked at what they had, and because they had chickens, the zoning requirements are there to have fences, and some of the definitions are a little bit indefinite, and the size of the land that they have to have, and front yard, backyard, side yard, just a lot of confusion. But what it comes down to is they're being told that a lot of what they are doing they can't do. And so for them, it's not pets. This is their food source, and they're feeling very challenged by that. So as far as a challenge goes for homesteaders to do, it's really a couple of things that they were suggesting is, one, be sure you understand any regulations that apply to you. Don't assume that you can do anything you want, which is really, that's kind of the truth about anywhere. I know one rule that exists here in Missouri that I don't think anybody really watches close is fencing. That if you're going to have livestock, you have to have fences, and that definition is probably really loose, but nobody really talks about it. I saw it on some website, some official website, that that's a requirement, but it's not really looked at from what I can see. At least in our area, it's not. But there are lots of places where the numbers, the fencing, all those, and the types of animals you may keep are controlled for whatever reason, and so you need to be aware of it. But the other side of it was, I think they're wanting. They didn't ask for it directly, but what they're suggesting is that this is a movement of people.
Homesteading is a movement.
Homesteading is a movement. Growing your own food. I mean, a movement. I mean, this is what they did when I was a kid. Okay, so it's not like it's new.
That's because you lived in the country.
That's that's how my parents grew up. So for a lot of people, it's not new. This is just how it is. This is how it's been. And there was maybe a shift away from it just because grocery stores became so much prevalent. We've had several decades of that being a possibility. But as far as a movement for people who aren't familiar with that, yeah, it is a movement back to food self-sufficiency, food reliance.
So we had not seen that video, and one of our viewers said, please go over and watch it, and I am challenging you to participate. And so we are accepting that challenge, and we'll be putting a video together.
Yeah, so some of those topics are going to be woven through a lot of the videos we do, because it is important that we all eat the right foods and know where it's coming from, but also that we are aware of what we can and can't do and adhere to it. But if there is any chance for us to educate, to influence any rule setting, to
Bye, Marianne.
To try to get so the rules don't take away the ability for people to grow their own food. One of the reasons that we ended up here in Missouri is some of the places we looked, there were restrictions in certain municipalities. In fact, if you've watched all of our videos, you know that there was a place in Colorado we were looking at seriously. It was 40 acres.
You're telling all our story. I was going to tell.
That'd be bad. There's other people out here. But 40 acres, and you couldn't have chickens. You could have a horse or two, but with 40 acres,
you could only have horses.
Yeah, with 40 acres, you couldn't have animals other than horses, period. So there are localities where that's kind of the issue. So if you're trying to feed yourself from your property, that's a challenge.
So the whole thing is we kind of need to stick together as homesteaders and help support each other. So
yeah, because it's not illegal. It's not. What are some of the other words that I'm looking for? We're not trying to undermine the government. We're not trying to be a problem for anybody. We're just trying to feed ourselves, and to make that so that you can't do it in your own home, on your own property, no matter what size you have.
I agree. Dolly says some of the rules are so wrong. And that was the other thing, is he says, if there's stupid rules, try to get them changed.
Yeah. And I think just keeping the sensitivity about that even if it doesn't affect you, it affects somebody else. So that if there's any way you can lend support, if you can encourage, if you can educate.
Well, I know that's what happened to Guildbrook Farms. That's why they're sitting in the middle of the Appalachians trying to live on off-grid right now, because they literally had to get rid of all their animals.
Yeah.
So it definitely does happen.
But that's one set of factors that caused us to make the decision about Missouri, because this is one area where there are less restrictions, things are more open.
Case in point, as we were seeing the property, I asked the realtor, well, since we're kind of close to town but not in town, is there a problem with this or this or this? And she looked at me and she goes, there are no problems in Missouri. You do what you want to do. And I went, oh. So, yeah. But that scares, I mean, you should still check it out your own, not take your
Plus,
realtors.
that said, that having more animals than what your property can support, not having enough room for them, I mean, you're turning it into a CAFO, and you don't want to do that. You want to be able to take care of them, have enough space for them, enough grass, enough room to move, enough whatever's that they need. Sorry, getting on my soapbox. I'll jump off now. It's important.
It is important. And it is almost time for us to say goodbye. We have expanded this from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And I want to thank everybody for coming by today. Let's see. Oh, Janet's here. They tried a few months ago to get rid of your chickens. Oh, Janet had trouble. Wow.
Yeah. That's
bribing neighbors works. Yes.
Hey, that's what I've heard is a good idea. And, you know, our neighbors buy eggs from us.
Oh, yeah. We only have one set of neighbors. And, well, the other ones are way, way up on the hill, and they lease the property above us to somebody's cattle. So
yeah,
we're good.
I don't think it's a problem for us, which is great.
The only
So
way to
we're
change the
very
rules
lucky.
is to have a lot of people or a lot of money. Either is usually too hard for most homesteaders. I agree.
Well, one avenue that we're seriously considering
Hi
for
from
several
Ireland.
Seriously considering for several reasons, one of them being is education, is to begin looking for opportunities to speak, to talk about real food, to talk about not necessarily this movement, but the purposes, the value, the benefits of what's going on with having good food, clean food, real food, whatever you want to call it food, but food that you know its source, you know what goes into it. So
we wanted to speak at the Homesteaders of America conference, and we gave them our stuff to do that. But I understand why they didn't ask us to, because we have an audience of a little less than 4,000, and we don't have 300,000 people following us. So they didn't think we wouldn't draw people to us.
yeah, well, they didn't tell us that, but
well, anyway, we hope that someday we can speak at it, because I would love to speak there.
But we believe, I mean, that's preaching to the choir, which is great. That would be wonderful. We need to go local. And I think that's what all of us can do, is to make certain that every chance we get to help people understand the value is to let them know. You got me back on my soapbox. I should do that.
All righty. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our family.
Who remembers that one?
We all do.
Yeah.
In fact, they're doing a little thing with mouses right now. If you send in a picture, even if you've drawn mouse on your head and you do something about hashtag and mouse, whatever, you have to look it up on ABC, then the Miracle Network Disney will give $5 for every person who sends that into the Children's Miracle Network.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to do that.
So
we need to get our Mouseketeer.
All right, my fellow homesteaders whom we love. They have 52 people on here right now. Bless your hearts.
Hey, thanks for following along.
So
we really appreciate it. It makes us feel good. We're glad to share. And the feedback we get when we ask questions, when we pose problems, the encouragement, the advice, the ideas, we're overwhelmed. What a community. What a community.
Tomorrow we will film this wonderful local community coming in to get firewood for us, and we'll put that on our Monday video. And then Tuesday we will probably do our one that we've been challenged for to help other homesteaders.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thank you. We love you.
Hey, thanks for being part of it.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Enjoy.
Do it already.